Hey guys, sorry it's been so long since I've posted. I really had some mental health issues for a little bit there. So let me catch you up on what's been going on. So like I said, my mental health got pretty bad for a little bit there. I already kind of told you about the nausea issue that I was having because of surgery. It got to a point where I just ended up stopping taking my medicine, like all of my medicine, for probably a week and a half or so. And that's really bad, especially when you've had surgery and when you have mental health issues. And it just made everything worse. And as a result of not taking my meds, including my mental health meds, I had to build my mental health meds back up in my system, and it usually takes a couple of weeks. So I really kind of, between not taking them and then having to wait for them to get back in my system and build back up and do their job properly, I lost at least 3 weeks to just really bad depression and anxiety. I think I'm finally figuring out the nausea thing. Basically, as long as I eat slowly and take small bites, which this is something that I've known since before, since I started preparing for the surgery. So it's like, duh. But yeah, I really think that's the answer to the nausea issue, because I have been focusing more on taking smaller bites and eating slower, and it has been helping quite a bit. And something else that's been helping quite a bit is I've figured out that my multivitamin, if I take it with just liquid, even if it's a protein shake, it'll make my stomach hurt. And if I take it with actual food, then it will go down fine. It won't hurt. I also have figured out I have trouble taking the bigger pills, and it makes me sick to my stomach because of my body's reaction to taking the bigger pills. As long as I eat slowly, take small bites, to eat actual food with my multivitamin, and cut my pills up small enough, my nausea is pretty manageable actually now. And sometimes I can get away with not even having any nausea. So the 50-day challenge. I am gonna be honest, I completely fell off the challenge for like a week and a half. I kind of hung on for like a week maybe, during the beginning of my medicine kind of getting out of my system. But once it was out of my system, I just fell off the challenge and stopped taking care of myself completely. And there is one thing that I managed to do. I managed to exercise the whole time. I don't know how I managed to do that, but I did. Because I missed so much time, I am going to kind of delete that time from my 50-day challenge, and I started it over, not completely over, but I started where I left off basically. And so I'm in the middle of week 6 right now. If I hadn't have fallen off this challenge, I'd probably be done with it by now. But life happens, and you have to, get back up and try again when you fall. And you can't sit and beat yourself up about it. You have to accept that you're never going to be perfect, and you're going to have setbacks, and you just move forward. So that's what I'm doing. So because I started the challenge back up again kind of in a weird place during the week, I'm going to do this to keep you guys updated. I'm going to go ahead and update you today on the last 4 days because that's how far I've gotten since I started back up. And then after those 4 days, or after today is over, I will have 10 days left of the challenge. And when those 10 days are up, I will update you on the last 10 days, and I will also give you a synopsis and overview, or review, I guess, not overview, review of the 50-day challenge for me. But first, here up in the top corner, I'm putting a little reminder of my 6 main goals for the week, or the challenge. Waking up by 9:30, walking or exercising every day, reading. I kind of broadened that to just challenging myself mentally every day, and then drinking enough water every day, and meditating, and going to sleep by 1 a.m. So those are my main goals. Now for the last 4 days. I actually have done better than I expected the last 4 days. So for the first goal of waking up by 9:30 every morning, I have managed to do that every morning for the last 4 days, so 4 out of 4 days. I have exercised 3 out of 4 days, and that is only because rest days are important when you're exercising, especially when you're doing more intense exercise. So yeah, that rest day yesterday was really important for me. So 3 out of 4 days on that, and I'm totally fine with that. 3 out of 4 days on mentally challenging myself. I just was so tired yesterday. I didn't even bother mentally challenging myself. I just kind of took a lazy day. Now for drinking enough water, I have managed to do that 0 out of 4 days, which is really bad. But I have a plan. And then as for meditating and going to sleep by 1 a.m., I have managed to do both of those 4 out of 4 days. So I really do feel like I've done pretty well for the last 4 days. But going back to that water issue, that's a big problem. I have been really dropping the ball on drinking my water. For the last 4 days, well, honestly, for the last 2 weeks, I think I've managed maybe 30 to 40 ounces a day, and I'm supposed to be getting at least 80 ounces a day. So that is something that I really need to work on. And for the last 10 days of the challenge, that is going to be my main focus. So my plan for getting enough water in is basically just having my water bottle glued to my hand, basically. I am going to listen to my alarms. I have alarms set and have had alarms set, but I don't tend to listen to them. I need to be constantly sipping my water, and I may have mentioned before that I was planning on doing 14 ounces of water, so my plan was and still is to wake up in the morning and spend the first 30 minutes of the day eating breakfast, and then 30 minutes putting nothing in my stomach because my breakfast needs to settle and digest, and then the next hour drinking 14 ounces of water, and then repeat that. The 30 minutes of eating, 30 minutes of nothing, an hour of 14 ounces of water, and just repeat that 2-hour cycle every back to back for the whole day. And well, not obviously the whole day, but until I reach my 80 ounces and my 60 grams of protein. Something else, I am a little bit worried about calories. I haven't talked to my nutritionist. Our last appointment was almost a month ago, or maybe, I can't remember if we waited 4 weeks or 6 weeks between appointments this time. Yeah, it's almost time for me to talk to her again. So, and I also have an appointment right after talking to her with my surgeon or right before. Regardless, within the next week or two, I see both my surgeon and my nutritionist. So I'm going to get calories figured out, and I'm going to get water and protein figured out, and making sure that my medicine is taken, because that's something else. During that hour that I'm drinking the 14 ounces of water, the first 5 sets of that, I'm going to take medicine with that water. But yeah, as far as weight loss and surgery goes, I am not going to do a detailed update in this video, just because next week is my week 2. I try to do my measurements every other week, and so next week is my week off from measurements. So next week I'm doing my measurements, and then I will update you guys on my measurements next week and give you all the details of how my appointment with my surgeon went, and my nutritionist and everything. But what I can tell you today is I have been measuring or weighing myself, and I am officially 79 pounds down from my heaviest weight and 65 pounds down from my surgery weight. So that's mind-blowing to me that I've lost that much weight in that short of amount of time, because a month before my surgery weight was recorded, I was at around 343, and then like 344, something like that, 344 I think. And then I lost 14 pounds. Yeah, it was 344 because I lost 14 pounds in that month on my own somehow. I don't know what I did, but I did. And the actual official surgery weight was 330, and now I'm 265. I'm over the moon about what the scale says, obviously, but I also have a lot of non-scale victories that I would love to share. Off the top of my head, the main ones that I'm like really loving would be my clothes fitting better, and some of my clothes are actually too big now that I can't wear them unless I'm just like lounging around the house. And I've been able to actually purchase smaller clothing than what I used to wear. The smallest shirt that I have now that actually fits correctly is a large, which is a huge accomplishment for me. Being able to actually wear a large sized shirt and feel good and look good in it is just mind-boggling. Like I said, I'm over the moon. And then another non-scale victory that I won't get into too much detail about because it is a little TMI, but the short version of it is I can take better care of myself and my home, cleaning wise and whatnot, and hygiene wise. That is a huge thing for me, that I'm a little OCD, and not being able to keep myself and my home, my surroundings properly clean was really bothering me. And now that I can keep up with it better, it's helped my mental health so much. Now, a huge non-scale victory that I want to share, and it's the last one that I can really think of off the top of my head, but for the most part, it's probably the biggest thing, is I can actually exercise now without feeling like I'm going to keel over, and I can actually do a more intense exercise. So as a result, I joined a kickboxing gym that is nearby, and I actually go 3 times a week now. I've been going for 3 or 4 weeks now, like 3.5 weeks or so, and when I first started going, I could barely keep up, and my first class, I actually had to sit through the last half of it because maybe the last quarter of it, but I just ran out of steam, and I would have gotten sick or passed out or both if I would have pushed myself and kept going. So I listened to my body, and I had to stop and start doing the stretches and the cool down early while the rest of the class finished the workout and then did the stretches and the cool down. But I have kept going, and I started at going 2 days a week, and now I go 3 days a week, and I am able to actually complete the entire class, and each class is 50 minutes long, 50, and it's intense. It's kickboxing, so you are punching and kicking a bag half the time, and then the other half of the time they do what they call functional, which is more like strengthening exercises and stuff like that. It's I can't think of the word, but like you like lift weights, or you do planks, or squats, that kind of stuff. I do still need modifications on some of the stuff, but I am able to do the entire 50-minute class without keeling over. And that is a huge win for me. Honestly, I think that sums up everything that I needed to catch you up on and wanted to catch you up on. Again, I'm so sorry for dipping out like that. And I'm working on not doing that anymore. I just have to stay on top of my medication and this nausea issue. And like I said, I'll give you a proper update on my weight loss and surgery recovery next week. And then the week after that will be the end of my 50-day challenge video. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.